Hello everyone, this is Nader Mohazabnia. I am a watercolor artist and instructor in a various field of visual arts and painting. Today I'm here to guide you through a quick and simple tutorial of this beautiful ballerina model. I will working with a very limited color palette. I'm very happy and grateful to have this chance to be with you in this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy the process. For this technique, I'm using the wet on wet method. I wet a back side of the paper 3 times, each of them 5-minute interval. After that, I follow the process of the painting. I prefer to working on 300 arches paper or Bauhang, as you know, from the China. During the tutorial, I use these two different type of the brush. I will be explain the size and shape of each brush. We got through the video. No need more different brushes for this technique. Very limited brushes. Okay, let's start together. I would like to explain the colors I am using. For most of the painting, for most of the portrait, I use it yellow ochre, a little burnt sienna, and very limited opera. This is my general color that I use it for the skin. My round brush comes from Nevska Palitra. This brush, sable and synthetic hair. Started by the face. Be careful for the light area. The light on the body like this. I try to find the skin color between my drawing line. As you can see, most of my painting for the skin tone, I usually use the very limited palette. All of my students knows very well. Yellow ochre, burnt sienna, and opera. I mentioned all of the names here for you. Okay, skin color, yellow ochre, mixed with burnt sienna, and a little opera. Okay. I prefer keeping the palette very simple so I can build the tones gradually and keep the painting harmonious. Before the next step, I want to show how you can mix the colors together. For the dress, I'm using a little cerulean blue. For second color, I use it my favorite blue is ultramarine. And let colors move together. For some area, try to keep some small distance between two different colors. I want to add some more opera and mix it with ultramarine and put it directly on the paper. For this step, with one of your round brush, a smaller one, maybe number 6, I use it Da Vinci brush. Try to fill the last line of your color. Just on the shoulder and a little on the back. Okay. For the darker contrast of the skin, I use it burnt sienna and mix with a little violet or violet. Okay? And try to create deeper shadow on the skin and on the hand and maybe on the face. You can see the result very well. I use it my favorite brush for my hand, like a supportive brush for me, and added some more detail on the skin. On wet technique, you have lots of time to control everything. And it's work for all of artists who lives in a dry countries like a Dubai, like any area located in a desert and hot temperature area. Okay, for this step is enough for the skin. We should give them a little more time. At the final stage, not now, if I need a stronger tone for the skin, I use the combination of a red brown and a deep violet. This is my second color. Mix of burnt sienna and violet. As you can see, I use a very limited palette to be sure all of you have it or have them in your palette. Now I wanna use it dagger brush like a knife. With this brush, I added more detail on the dress, on the hair, and any area that you need. Okay, I try to mix a little ultramarine by violet, no need add more extra water on this color. Try to find some darkest area like this. Again, with a round brush, I try to fill this last line. Again, here. One of one of the important point of my personal technique and something I wanted to teach you is allowing the colors to mix naturally on the surface of the paper. It's very important. I usually avoid over mixing color on the palette. Instead, I let them blend directly on the paper, which creates beautiful and organic effects. Wow. Because I don't have lots of time, I use the hair dryer and keep some area dry. Cerulean, the first color that I use it for the dress. The next one is ultramarine, and the third one mix of the ultramarine and a little opera, like this. These three colors that I use it for dress. For details of the skin, I return to my previous color and added some details. I put it all of my focus on details and shadow area. For the hair colors, I use it raw umber directly. And now a little mix of the indigo and sepia. Use the same color for some darkest area. Another key point is that I apply the color in a very concentrated, almost pure, from when the paper is the wet. This helps the pigment flow and spread freely across the surface. Very important, pigments flow and spread freely on the surface. For the details of the face, I should wait, or I must wait, because I have a lots of water now here. I back to the dress and I wanna add more details. Again, French ultramarine or ultramarine is available in all of the palette for different companies. Mix it by a little previous color who comes from indigo and sepia. Control any extra water in your brush by the tissue or maybe by the towel. In each step, I keep some colors from the previous layer. Very important. In each step, we should keep some area definitely in light area by previous layer. Layer by layer, we added more darkest color. I like this area. Mix of the skin color and dress color together. This is the miracle of the watercolor technique. Use it again, hair dryer. Whenever I notice that an area of the paper has started to dry, I stop working on that section. Immediately, I let it dry like this, and after that, working on that area. If I later need added more details in any area in this technique, on wet technique, simply I added more water, clear water, with one of your soft brush, and add more details in the next step. Rewet. Rewet means put it water again. You have a lots of water back of paper and added some water on the surface and continue on working process. Okay, now I wanna, as I mentioned it before, use it red, brown, and violet. A little ultramarine also I added to that. Instead of ivory black, most of the time I use it this color. Made by 3 different color, ultramarine, red brown, or maybe Indian red or English red, and violet. Cold violet, not red violet, cold violet. Bright, clear violet. It's very nice. Okay. With quarter brush. Which brush? Dagger brush, or safety brush, or knifey brush. Added some details of the eyebrow, also on the hair. And on the lips. The same color I use. Try to separate some area like hers, like a shoulder, from each other. And I'm ready to edit some detail to separate finger. Just focusing on the darkest area. I like the result of this area also too. When the colors comes together. Wow. As I promised to my organizer, I don't want to edit more details because this is a very short and simple video of my technique, my method, and it has been an honor for me to share this brief technique and the tips with you. As much as the time and the format of this video allowed to me. I like watercolor in a really minimals. It means not like a hyperreal or like a photo. It's a very limited brush, and don't pay attention more on the details. Okay, let's control everything. Everything's good. And I think it's enough for very limited and short video, less than 30 minutes. I hope we can stay connected through the future videos and on the social media also too. And I hope you enjoy watercolor technique and continue learning and growing together. That's enough. I would be very happy to hear your feedback and comments. Thank you for spending time with me. All the best for all of you.